stories told from a human angle perspective. We interview the actors and the experts, all facts laid bare. From Nigeria to the rest of the globe, we deliver the news on time and in time. This is News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM in Doekiti.
Joining us on News Express, I am Kingsley Iniovosa. Now on the news in detail. The federal government has announced plans to inaugurate a new National Addressee Council and a technical committee next year. This is aimed at driving Nigeria's agenda on planning, economic growth, and financial inclusion through an effective national addressing system. The National Addressing System is a framework designed to establish a reliable and consistent method of assigning a geographic and numeric address to all buildings within an area. The decision was taken yesterday during a pre-meeting of the council chaired by the Vice President Kashim Shatima at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. According to a statement issued today by Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Communication Office of the Vice President, Stanley Mwacha, this is part of the critical steps to revigorate the NAC in a bid to address the challenges associated with our addressing system in Nigeria. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has approved measures by the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria funds to address the harassment of travelers by government agencies at Nigeria's international airports. In a post on X today, Keyamo revealed the launch of Operation Air Clean, an initiative designed to eradicate corrupt practices and improve service delivery in response to a rise in passenger complaints at reports. As a part of the reforms for the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, joint inspection tables will be dismantled and replaced with intelligence-driven searches and advanced scanners to expedite security checks. Additionally, passenger processing will be streamlined by consolidating checkpoints, allowing officers from the Department of State Services (DSS) and Immigration Service to share contacts, thereby reducing congestion. The federal government has confirmed that it has commenced sacking workers with certificates from unaccredited private tertiary institutions in the Benin Republic and Togo. The federal government workers that have been dismissed are those who graduated from the institutions from 2017 to date. The spokesperson of the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Shegun Mohasan, confirmed the development yesterday. The government says the exercise is part of an effort to raise the country's civil service of bad eggs. The Senate has reaffirmed its commitment to advance the tax reform bills, stressing that no aspect of the legislative process has been suspended or withdrawn. Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio stated this during plenary on Thursday that the upper chamber remains focused on its mandate to represent Nigeria's interests and will not be intimidated by external pressures. Against the backdrop of a point of order raised by the leader of the Senate, Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, Akpabio dismissed the reports in the media suggesting that deliberations on the bills have been suspended or withdrawn. Dismissing any attempts to pressure the chamber, the Senate President also stated that the Senate cannot be bullied. Any reform that we are convinced serves the interest of Nigerians will proceed. These bills contain provisions that are in the best interest of the public. Meanwhile, the Academic Staff Union of University ASU has appealed to the federal government not to systematically phase out the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, which has transformed the tertiary educational institutions in Nigeria and in the last 3 decades. ASU warned that suffocating the funding source of TED funds to run the Nigeria Education Loan Fund would destroy the public education in the country. ASU President Emmanuel Sodeke, in a televised interview today, said the only source of funding is from TED Fund, so when you destroy it, you have destroyed the public universities. The actual president, who faulted the tax abuse introduced by the President Bola Tinubu administration, further said that stakeholders were not consulted within the educational sector before the bills were sent to the National Assembly. Similarly, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has dismissed claims that the state will significantly gain from the federal government's proposed tax reform, stating that Lagos is in an extremely comfortable position. He disclosed this during an interview with newsmen on Wednesday while attended the African Investment Forum Market Days 2024 in Rabat, in Morocco. Sanwo-Olu acknowledged that while Lagos State may experience some losses, it also stands to gain a greater opportunity to play the more substantial role. He underscored the importance of reforms despite facing opposition from some groups. So the lower chamber of the National Assembly, the House of Representatives, has today issued a 7-day ultimatum to the Nigeria Railway Corporation (NRC) to submit all relevant documents on all current public-private partnership in the corporation. Late Chairman, Joint House Committees on Public Access and Special Duties, Honorable Adamimogo issued the ultimatum in Abuja during a public hearing on the need to investigate and assess the performance of PP programs and concession. Kuye said that the ultimatum became necessary following the failure of the corporation to submit the documents as earlier requested. He said that all documents and all agreements related to each asset of EPP and programs, concessions, and lease agreements with commencement dates should be submitted. In politics now, the Labour Party has suffered a significant blow as 5 of its members in the House of Representatives defected to the All Progressives Congress (APC) today. The lawmakers who made the switch are Tochukwu Okere Imo, Donatus Matthew from Kaduna, Basi Akiba from Cross River, Yawa Sosa from Edo, and Dalepo from Plateau. The Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, read out the lawmakers' letter of defection to the APC on the floor of the Green Chamber. According to Donatus Matthew, who represents the Kaura Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, the decision to defect to the APC was based on conviction. Matthew, who made history by winning the parliamentary election in 2023 as a commercial motorcycle rider, stated that he could not make decisions solely based on the opinions of his constituents, as they have varying levels of understanding. Still talking politics, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Board of Trustees has resolved to end the party's crisis by meeting with former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike in January. This decision was made during an emergency meeting in Abuja, where PDP BOT Chairman Senator Adolphus Wabara emphasized the importance of internal organization within the party. Wabara stressed that the party's strength lies in collective determination, not individual ambitions. He urged members to prioritize dialogue, collaboration, and shared responsibility. The BOT also criticized the Omar Damago-led National Working Committee for repeatedly postponing the National Executive Committee meeting, warning that this is eroding trust and confidence among PDP members. You're listening to News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM. Ido-Ekiti. Coming up next, Ekiti Governor assures the residents of peaceful Yuletide season. Please stay with us.
Here with us again. Oh yes, Adamimogo 107.7 FM Ido-Ekiti is using this medium to inform and invite children, parents, heads of nursery, primary and secondary schools, churches and individuals wishing to sponsor children and be a part of our 2024 Father Christmas show beginning from 2nd to 24th December 2024. Come and let's revel in the season of love and giving. It promises to be fun-filled. Our Father Christmas will arrive from Rome and be seated at his grotto in our station to receive children, dance and play with them. There are lots of take-home goodies and gifts from Father Christmas Christmas, as well as toys and play gadgets to make children's visit interesting, long-lasting, and memorable. For further inquiries, please contact Desmond Olaoluwa on 0806 511 4430 or Bayo Babalola on 0803 562 5812. Adamimogo 107.7 FM Idoikiti 2024 Father Christmas Show promises to be exciting.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us again. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adamimogo 107.7. To other matters, the Court of Justice of Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has ordered the Federal Republic of Nigeria to compensate Oluwatimileyin Adebayo with 5 million naira for the violation of his rights to freedom from torture. The court also ordered Nigeria to conduct a prompt, impartial, and effective investigations into the torture and prosecute those responsible. Record Adebayo had accused some police officers from Ogun State of subjecting him to severe physical abuse, including beating him with the handle of an axe and tie his limbs with chains to a pole. However, the court, in its judgment sent to newsmen today, dismissed Nigeria's preliminary objections, asserting its jurisdiction to hear human rights cases. Former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC, Omoyele Sowore, has urged the Nigerians to join a nationwide protest against the judiciary over the prosecution of Dele Farotimi. Recall Farotimi, a human rights activist, was arrested by the officers of the Ekiti State Police Command over allegations of defaming the character of the founder of Afe Babalola University, Are Afe Babalola SAN, in his recently published book, Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System. Subsequently, Farotimi was remanded in prison till December 10, after he was at the magistrate court in Ado-Ekiti on Wednesday. At a post via his official ex-handle, Sowore reveals that the protest will kick off on December 10 from the Afe Babalola chambers in Lagos, Federal Ministry of Justice in Abuja, Police Headquarters in Ekiti, and King's College campus in London. Ekiti State Governor Mr. Biodun Oyebanji has assured residents of the state of adequate security measures during the Yuletide season. He gave this assurance during a meeting with traditional rulers in the state's other traditional council chambers at Ado-Ekiti. Governor Oyebanji acknowledged the usual spike in criminal activities during Yuletide seasons, but disclosed that collaborative efforts with security agencies and community leaders are in place to prevent potential threats. The governor described Ekiti as one of the safest states in the country, attributing this to his administration's commitments to safeguarding lives and properties. He urged the residents to remain calm and good about their daily activities without fear. Oyebanji assured that security agencies are fully prepared to secure the state, combining both kinetic and non-kinetic approaches to tackle criminal elements. It encouraged the residents to go about their businesses without fear of insecurity. Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa says the state would give the first military administrator of the state, Group Captain Ita David Ikpema, retired, a befitting burial. Governor Ayedatiwa spoke after he received the news of the death of Group Captain Ikpema in a letter signed by Ikokwa Ikpema. Late Ikpema served as the first governor of Ondo State after the state was carved out of the old western state during the regime of General Olusegun Obasanjo in February 1976. He was said to have died at the age of 89 after the brief illness. Governor Ayedatiwa said late Ikpema played extraordinary roles to lay the foundation of the development of the state between 1976 and 1978. On business news, fuel imports hits 2.3 billion liters despite local production. Oladonya Yegbusi has more.
Good evening and welcome to the business news. Despite the commencement of petrol production by two major refineries in Nigeria in the last 3 months, oil marketers have continued to import and distribute the product nationwide. It was gathered yesterday that marketers imported 2.3 billion liters of petrol between September 11th or December 5, 2024. The continued importation of petrol is contrary to a public announcement by some group of marketers who earlier stated their intention to halt petrol import and focus on domestic supply. According to reports, the local refineries are the 650,000 barrel per day capacity Dangote refinery located in Lagos and the 210,000 barrel per day capacity Port Harcourt refinery company in Rivers State currently produces from its old plant with a capacity of 60,000 barrel per day. Despite this, recent findings have revealed that in the past 3 days alone, a total of 52,000 metric tons of petrol were imported were brought into the country. Still on business news, several OPEC countries, including Saudi Arabia and Russia, have today agreed to extend oil supply quotas for 3 months through March to avoid a sharp drop in prices in a global market awash in crude. The decision had been widely expected, though the extensions that caused the meeting to be delayed by a few days had created some doubt that the oil cartel would maintain the course. According to a statement released by the Venian-based group following a virtual meeting, 8 OPEC countries will extend their voluntary adjustment of 2.2 million barrels per day until the end of March. It added that after those cuts, it would be gradually phased out on a monthly basis until the end of September 2026. And that's all on business news. My name is Oladoyin Ayegbusi.
Thank you, Ladonya Ayegbusi. On the foreign scene, Ukraine sanctions Georgian leaders over crackdown on pro-EU protest. Kainde Ayodeji, who is standing by.
Welcome to foreign news. The Syrian army has revealed that opposition forces have entered Hama city after intense fighting, prompting its units to redeploy outside the strategic city in another major blow to President Bashar al-Assad. The army said in a statement today that it is redeploying its forces to preserve civilian lives and prevent urban combat, reversing an earlier claim that denied rebels fighters had entered the city. Also, opposition commander Azan Abdul Ghani posted on social media earlier today that his fighters had begun entering Hama, to which they had been laying siege since Tuesday amid heavy fighting overnight with the Syrian army, which was backed by intense Russian air attacks. Still on the foreign scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has sanctioned top Georgian officials, including the Prime Minister and a billionaire founder of ruling party, in a bid to halt the country's apparent drift into Russia's orbit. Zelensky announced the sanctions today after a 7th consecutive night of protest against the Prime Minister Irakli Kobakidze's decision to delay talks on joining the European Union, on a move thought to have been steered by Bidzina Ivashvili, the country's wealthiest man who founded the governing party Georgia Dream. Speaking in a video posted on Telegram, Zelensky said the sanctions against both figures and 17 other government members, including Georgia's State Security Service Chief and Interior Minister, were against the part of government in Georgia that is handing Georgia over to Russia President Vladimir Putin. That is all on foreign scene today. Kende Ayodeji is my name.
Thank you, Kende Ayodeji. On entertainment news, Nigerian Afrobeat superstars Davido has expressed admiration for the democratic process in the United States, contrasted it with Nigerian system. The globally acclaimed artist shared his views in a recent interview where he discussed his participation in the recent U.S. presidential election. Davido, who holds dual citizenship as a U.S. and Nigerian citizen, revealed he voted for Kamala Harris of the Democratic Party. The 32-year-old singer noted that his choice was driven by a desire to witness the United States elect its first female president within his lifetime. Representing the electoral process, the timeless hitmaker described the U.S. system as a true reflection of the people's will. Still on entertainment, Nigerian singers Arasta Thames and Rema's names have been captured on the 2024 Rolling Stones Best 100 Albums. The singers' names were captured on the list of outstanding albums that have enjoyed global success in the year. Representing Nigeria on its list, Rolling Stone described Rema's second studio album, Haze, which secured the 11th spot on the list, as a unique ballsy visceral project. Thames' album, Born in the Wild, secured the 37th spot because of its physical and emotional listening experience. Also, Ara Star's the second album, the year 1021, ranked 53rd for showcasing the singer's musical maturity and passion. A record that in 2022, Ashake's debut album, Mr. Money, made the US magazine's list. On sports updates, in a bid to boost its support to Nigeria's national teams, the Super Eagles Supporters Club yesterday signed a partnership deal with ProStar Recreational Services Limited at an event held at National Stadium Surulere in Lagos. Speaking at the ceremony, the MD of ProStar, the Recreational Services Limited, Paul Maduako, said that the efforts of Supporters Club to our various national teams is crucial because it fosters collaboration, boosts morale, and ultimately leading to better performance and achieving shared goals more effectively. He added that when individuals feel supported, they are more likely to be motivated, engaged, and resilient in the face of challenges. Also speaking, the Deputy President of the Super Eagles Supporters Club, Chief Michael Chibuzo Anyara, expressed their happiness over the activities of the club while thanking the firm for recognizing their good work. Still on sports updates, Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie has been shortlisted for the prestigious 2024 CAF Women's Player of the Year award. The Paris FC showstopper will compete against the 4 other standout players for the top honor. The other nominees include Morocco's Sana Musodi, Zambia's Barbara Banda, and Malawian duo Tabitha Chawinga and Theawan Chawinga. In addition to the Women's Player of the Year nomination, Nnadozie is also vying for the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year award. The 24-year-old clinched the inaugural Goalkeeper award in 2023 and will be aiming to defend her title. The award ceremony is set to take place on December 16, 2024. With those sports stories, we end this edition of News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM Idoikiti. Before we go, the highlights again. Remember, we told you that the federal government has announced the plans to inaugurate a new National Advisory Council and a technical committee next year. We also brought it to you that Senate has reaffirmed its commitment to advancing the tax reform bills, stressing that no aspect of the legislative process has been suspended or withdrawn. We finally reported to you that Ekiti State Governor Mr. Biodo Yebanji has assured residents of the state of adequate security measures during the Yuletide season. He gave this assurance during a meeting with traditional rulers in the states at the Traditional Council Chambers in Ado-Ekiti. And that's News Express on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Olojudos Palus, Ado-Ekiti. On behalf of the production crew led by Ladoni Ayebusi, my name is Kingsley Iniovosa. Good evening and thanks for listening.